Hello. Can everybody hear me? I'm trying out something different with the audio. Hopefully it sounds better, but you know, can you tell the difference? Does everything sound alright? Sorry to always be asking about audio, but it sounds crisp as a Pringle. How great. Just making the most of what I have and figuring stuff out. It's a fledgling streamer. Hello, Tsunami. Hello, Moligaro. Hello, Dave. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. That's great. Would you say it's better than what's been previously, or same level, or, you know? You won't stay too long here in the office. We'll dive pretty much straight in. Just want to ask about that. If you can't tell the difference, then yeah, just say that as well. Probably gonna be a short, little sweet stream today. You know, we're not far from finishing the character, and I kind of want to do a separate stream for stuff like rigging, because rigging is actually something I need to get better at myself. Well, that's great, Molgaro. Thank you. Before we dive in, how's everybody doing? Okay, very nice to take your time to check in on me, so let's hear how you guys are doing. What you up to? Is the week going all right? 2025 treating you okay? Well, thank you for noticing that, Tsunami. That's very intentional. Sometimes I break it with some of the expressions, like but it generally, you know, generally does that. This one looks like he's having a hard time, so that's when it breaks. And sometimes when it has to be angry, I realize that I couldn't really do that. You know, we might see version 2s of some of these expressions. And I also need like something like a Stream Deck or something, so I have easier access to do the changes, and just remember to change them. Like I have gone a few streams where I just forget to do that. That's all right. Yeah, that's the angry expression, right? I really like it, but we'll see. Maybe I need to play some really frustrating games, like Getting Over It or something, or get some tech issues like streamers do. Then we'll use the angry expression. This is from the Super Mario RPG remake, the Culex fight, and then it's kind of amazing because it's become one of my favorite renditions of the Final Fantasy sort of prologue theme. Right. Just 1 minute and we'll dive straight in, alright? Oh, hello, Stuart K. Riley. Oh my god. Oh my god. So nice to see you here, man. For those of you who don't know, actually I came prepared. There we are. Stuart here's one of the OGs. He's, my god, how long have you been on YouTube? And you stream now, famous for several things. Especially started out like in the, as far as I know, the YouTube poop community, making YTP news, so that you can think about how far back that goes. But he's been doing his own thing, which I think is very admirable, and I've been sure to let him know every opportunity I get. Now doing Working Man Games YouTube series, and it's really evolution of what is done before, like. And he's been he just uploaded like a compilation for several hours. I thoroughly recommend hitting that up, having that next to you while you work. You'll be laughing, but keep some visual attention, because he does let his YTP origin sort of be playful with the material, and of course he streams. So time flies, Stuart. Very nice to see you here. I'm fine. Been doing a mix of art and streaming some Final Fantasy VII, and you know, we'll see where the winds take us eventually. Just figured out gaming and game development adjacent things was what I was good at, so started there. Just launching up Blender here. Where the high wind will take us, yeah. Okay, fair warning, I did actually turn off shuffle, so we got some Super Mario RPG music in rapid succession. I think then we can just, fingers crossed this works. Ooh, okay, kind of works. Why is it, that's... I see what's going on. There we are. Brilliant. So, where did we leave off last stream? Well, hopefully that you've seen Molgara stuff, because what we're doing is actually... one thing that we did... Oh, this is Worlds Colliding over here, because... I've done a representation of Stuart, who you'll see in Combustion, as a traveling American somewhere in the game, probably complaining about the weather. Similarly, doing something with Molgaro here, who you'll know is famous for his pickaxe and helmet. Yeah, like he was gracious enough to provide us some reference. And so it's him in a different style. I joke that it's, you know, as realistic as low poly can take you. So it's very Hollywood in that sense, who are obsessed with a kind of realism. So, what we're going to be doing today is unwrapping this cat. Prepare for some obvious jokes on the multiple methods of skinning a cat. Because, yeah, we'll essentially be dividing up these, sort of unwrapping these characters, polygons, onto a texture map. Oh, hang on. Oh, it's got the... Oh, okay. No, I'm the wrong one, sorry. I'm gonna be unwrapping this character. Sorry, I have another instance of Blender open, that's what's confused me. I'm so starstruck by Stuart attending here that making mistakes. So what we're gonna be doing, skinning this cat, applying some texture onto him, then and his various additions here, his props, and then we'll take that into Substance Painter and texture it. So let's just hop to it. I modeled him in kind of an old school sense, and I will be doing something similar here. I'll have to experiment a little bit because it's very seldom that I do. Like, what's very nice about clothing when you make 3D stuff is the segmentations. You can sort of make seams where things meet. And that's always been the case of making things easier. If you think of the old 3D games, you know, think Mario 64, think Resident Evil, where everything is like an isolated block of polygons. They did that because it was easier and bending things was the hard thing. And it's a similar case here because you want to utilize as much texture space as possible, but this being basically a naked body, you don't have that option. We will keep the props on a separate texture map, probably their own. But we will be doing some segmentations here, like below the feet. Just gonna move a few of these polygons for deformation later. Not that there's a huge amount of it, but I want some. The 1, 2, 3 actually needs a special attention to tails in Combustion. I always forget to animate the tails, or do the tails last in Combustion. But I've gotten quite good at animate them, especially cat tails, swaying back and forth. In Combustion, you will be wearing clothes. Just reading the comments, sorry. Okay. So, what I like to do, just gonna start by keeping this by itself. Is there like a quick U and M? Yes. Fantastic. Even though, just what I said, we will still... You still want to have the seams where it's less likely for people to notice. And we will experiment a bit with this because, yeah, it's been a while since I've done full characters like this. There is actually a naked model of Calico in Combustion, used for instances when he showers, for instance, but it's usually censored, even though there's, you know, it's just fur there, but it's a bit of a Metal Gear Solidism, I would say. Let's see. We definitely want... I will separate the face, because that face will get extra detail. It will also be... It will be symmetrical. Does... both are symmetrical? Yeah. And there's not really huge expression changes in Combustion. There are some character exceptions, usually if they're gonna wink or something. So Calico who has a different fur pattern, of course, is asymmetrical. Let's see. Ow. So, the hands are going to be a little bit tricky. That's something I'm going to have to experiment with. Might have to isolate that. The thumbs are going to be annoying, I know. I'm just going to experiment a little bit here. The tail, also going to do its own thing. Thankfully, he's still basically like a white cat, and that actually is I just realized something funny. For those of you who follow my social media, I made like a very, very cursed image of using the whole boy kisser meme for funsies. Of course, it's Molgaro among us who has the white cat avatar, so, you know, Molgaro, if you want to be horribly memey, you can do that. Let's see. What we're also gonna do, just so we can get started here, we're gonna apply material. Is this just a new Blender thing, or Is it just my computer? Because I feel it's gotten increasingly slower and slower to just create new materials sometimes. And changing tabs. I don't know, maybe there's something stored in the RAM? Because if I now go back and forth, yeah, now it's fast. Don't know what that's all about. Yeah, no, every sort of issue I've seen Molgaro have on stream, I've had a version of, I'd say. And we're very square. I know we were just in the... Let me just turn on the shuffle. So we have a nice variety. So I have a selection of these patterns that I made. I showed it in the... Actually, I'm not sure if I have shown it quite yet. I think I have. Yeah, you can't see it there because it's not properly unwrapped, but let me just do a quick version of that. Right. All that it is, of course, is this. I made several versions of it myself. And, you know, the benefit of it is that you can sort of look on the model and figure out where something is and how it's wrapping. And it's actually not doing, at least on the body, it's not too bad. See, there's some stretch going on the feet. Of course, below it's fine. Tails, kind of fine. As expected, it's getting a little wonky with the arms. Because, yeah, you can see that it's trying to do some things there. And I look forward to that, Molgar. I look forward to the memes. You know, Stuart, huge respect, and here's a spoiler. You know, we will see where things take us, of course, but it's very likely that the next project I work on, my own project, has inspiration from Mario RPG. There's something very magical about that game, even though it was never released here in Europe until the SNES Mini. I, of course, had to play it on emulation. Well, it was actually on the Wii, I think, but you know what I'm saying. Poor Dave here. He has gone through the ringer on computer upgrades. Is it because... Okay, I wonder if this is going to be an experimental part on my part. Do it like this. You might, like, the thing that I'm trying to keep here is kind of the arm going into the hand, but you might just have to take that L. Yeah, I think so. Unless... this is like there, right? This is also just part of the learning process, so to speak. Trying different things, see what's better. I can cheese this and divide up, and it'll all still work out. Just trying to figure out how this unwrapping is working, because there's different new types of it as well. Well, new for me, I say. Yeah, no, it's really not a fan of that. And if I were to do the obvious thing here, mark these seams. Yeah, you can see now it's all right, but the trade-off is that the pixels are not in perfect alignment. But you can do some things there because these are all connected in some way. First now I had to try and find a new Blender here where that option is. UV selection? Yeah. To see which one are connected there. What I think most people would do is just have a front and a back side. I kind of like how this flows from one to the other. This we can just balloon up ourselves a little bit. What happens if I do a little cheeky thing here? Sorry that unwrapping is not necessarily the most exciting thing, but it's a necessary part of this whole process. I have a sneaking suspicion because I've seen there's a lot of AI generation of 3D models and such. It's like, I wonder if anything, like I'm okay with unwrapping, but the one thing I'm not so hot on is retopology, because you're sort of doing the things you've done over. I sort of hate redoing work that I've already done. But even then, it's like not so hot on it, because every automation can sort of represent sort of a skill set being lost. And also less jobs and all of that stuff, of course. You know, progress, inevitable, but you know how it is with AI. Oh my, Stu. Oh me, oh my. Oh me, oh my. Nixie gonna be in there, or? She is in some of the thumbnails, isn't she? And we want to give some extra focus here. Not exactly what I want with these in terms of pixels, which is kind of want a couple of lines to divide the hand. You know, three lines ideally, so it can have 4 fingers. And the face, not too bad either. What we might also do is like flatten these portions, because it's generally more pleasing that they connect by pixels. I'm just gonna do this just to show it. Do you see here how it's sort of at an angle and the pixels are meeting each other like this? What you can do, first of course, turn this off. Do something like this, but then you realize, oh, this horrible gap, but then you can go in and smooth that out. Control V for sort of smoothing, and a scroll wheel. Also going to be using, don't have to use this, but I'm also going to be using a tool that I got ages ago called Text Tools, which is just for packing. Well, I actually not use it a whole lot, because since it's all so, it's not going to be that many islands. That's nice too. So of course you know your audience, but but yeah, I think for things plot physically it helps you know, always assume mom's gonna be in the room, right? Man, I picked one of the more dramatic pieces of Metal Gear Solid music, didn't I? What's this? Yeah. Hello, Makers. Can you write out again how I'm supposed to pronounce your name, and I'll try the second one, and I'll try that out for size, because I was too afraid last time, and then Farrell, my friend, also, you know, he told me it's like you wear the hard to pronounce name with pride, and so if it's much J. Okay. You just keep on correcting until we land on something that won't make you punch me if you meet me in person. Very nice of you to join. And thank you for all the support and attention and everything. I think that goes to something I have to do with everybody. It's like, my God, have people come out of the woodwork to support me on this whole crazy endeavor of streaming and everything. I'm very blessed in that sense. What we're gonna do here is actually we're gonna say, let me just check that the old-fashioned way, because yes, it's not good. Or what if we isolate this? Because I do like it when it connects in a sort of seamless fashion. And if we do it like this, it might have like an extended island. Or I guess not. Oh, or it does, yes. So I can flatten that out, no problem. Then we're gonna do a typical box thing here, I reckon. I think that's closed off now. Nope. I will be doing some, taking the liberty of doing some welding inside of here later. Good morning, Waddle-Dee. Dr. Waddle-Dee, sorry. Dr. Waddle-Dee Esquire. Nice of you to join. Alright. You're not the first nor the last person to do so. Feel free to join me on Blue Sky. I'm on Blue Sky as well. I'm in both, seeing what works out, trying to not get caught in any crossfire. And that's isolated like so. So if I unwrap this, yeah, we can work with that, because then it sort of, see how it trails off there. You see there's a lot of details that's getting squashed and everything, but we'll figure out. We'll do a little bit of eyeballing and a little bit of technique to get it right. It's very nice people here in chat. Like I have. There's things that I'm just much like I said last time, like kind of worried that I'm doing wrong or very different. Like I almost want to like check with somebody like Molgato here in chat. It's like, am I doing it right? Are you gonna yell at me? Yeah. You know, it works. It's got sort of approximate good amount of pixels on his butt and tail and everything. Of course, this was there we go, more uniform. Now the face we'll have to do a few things with, because you could actually do something very artistic here with the nose, so it's very cat-like, because you see how they meet. You go sort of pixel, 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 and then pixel, pixel down, if you know, like a cat's head and nose would be that sort of triangle going out, an inverse triangle. Ancient witchcraft, yeah. Now, some of it is just old stuff I've learned. Some of it is, you know, figuring stuff out on my own. Some of it is from old writing, actually. Like I have books from like, I would say go like late 90s, definitely late 90s, but like I remember, and this was even back then it was kind of out of date. Like in 2011 or something, I was doing a course on game development, and the book that we got recommended was from 2003 or 2, because in it references Morrowind as like a recent one. It was a good book. It was a good book. There's some fun lessons in there that I still quote. Like my favorite one is the one about mazes. Like it had this chapter, and it had different challenges you could or types of challenges for the player type thing. And it had like one portion on mazes, and it just said, don't. And then it went into detail if you absolutely had to do it, but it was very, very anti-maze. I love that meme. The PlayStation can create mind-boggling effects. And I honestly do want to make a meme with that. Sometimes just, I really need to come up with something good in order for it to land. Speaking of memes, you know, there's the old the memes about, or I wonder if somebody can find me that again. I think it was specifically about PlayStation 2 games, but it was something about nothing's like stronger than the relationship between a person and the obscure like mid-tier licensed game, basically. Or above mid-tier, rather. So it was like anything kind of a little bit below something like GoldenEye or something. It's just a bunch of PlayStation 2 examples that, you know, didn't go on to become big franchises, but are still fondly remembered. Sorry, a little bit of rambling. Where is this? What's going on here? Okay, this is a little bit strange. Just seemed like there were two vertices on top of each other, because you see how it's solid orange there, but there's like a black part beneath it. Okay. Speaking of Morrowind, hello, Gortist. So many people I know in here now. Or have some history with going way back. Oh, Painkiller. Painkiller's definitely one of those games. Definitely one of those games that I'm talking about. Obscure, yeah, it's a bit like the game called Remember Me, which nobody remembers. People remember the Remember Me guy from that one Metroid game, not that game. Okay, let's get to the... I'm just doing a final check over to see that there's nothing too funny going on. There's still part of me that really... Okay, I'm gonna do one final test to try and get this arm seamless. But the problem is... it's probably not gonna work, right? Let's try anyways. And if that doesn't work, we'll just be happy with it. Yeah, didn't work, but we tried. Also, now I wonder what people think of the playlist that we have. Let me just, as I mentioned before, this is the YouTube playlist. It's as updated as it can be, but YouTube removes stuff regularly. So thankfully I have a visible playlist there. And it's just gotten over 40 hours of various music. Most of it game stuff, but there's some secrets in there. Some of it even attempts to troll myself when they happen. Such a happy song. Okay. I think the kind of fine on the chest, the backside, I'm not so worried about. I can work with this. Now what I want to do, and this is like an example of breaking the rules, sort of when you know them. Just like I'm thinking about the pixel density detail of the face. It's actually not too bad. Like I want enough pixels in order to depict the eyes and face hair. I might actually kind of leave it like this. Because usually what I do, if I can make this 1.5. But yeah, what I was saying, Mission Impossible on the N64 was definitely one of those games for me. Before I knew Metal Gear Solid, before I knew Hitman, that was like the stealth game that I knew. And it's kind of one of the first in the social stealth genre. Even though I think that's giving it a little too much credit, you know. Like that, Moligaro? He does kind of give him... But it's a good indicator. Not that like a good indicator of how the eyes will work. And but the ears and everything. Is there anything other detail we would like? Let's actually exaggerate the bottom of the feet just a little bit, because we know we want some cute beans down there. We have exaggerated the head a little bit. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Sort of like, there will always be some scenes you can't escape it. But this is gonna be fine. This is an area where low poly conventionally suffers compared to modern resolutions because, you know, with texture filtering plus texture size of like a incredible size, you're not gonna even see this happen. The one thing you got to be wary of is texture stretch. Even that is an art direction. People use that for clever things. And it's very charming. It's very charming going back to stuff like the original Toy Story and Super Mario 64, because if you look close enough in areas, you'll see texture stretching. As like, now it's like obvious, but back in the day, nobody cared or noticed. And people hadn't really gotten to that level of skill or experience yet. The tech was so new that it would take a while. Actually, this is the entire bloody soundtrack, so let's... Oh. I love that track. It has such a folksy type style to it. It's kind of strange also because it is for the world map, but you don't really get access to that until like, I want to say what is like the third act of the game basically. Oh, no problem, Dr. Waldy. There is one stream, like the first stream that I did, which is lost, fortunately, which covers more of the very basics, but it was also, you know, being the first stream, not that this is like a world of difference, but I've had it in the back of my mind that I want to redo that one and upload it on my YouTube channel so people can, you know, we're not short on introduction to Blender tutorials, but I think especially for the low poly side of things, I think I can have something to offer. Yeah, Mulligaro, of course. In fact, I did stop myself from putting every track from Final Fantasy VII into this game, but most of it is still in there. The feet, like, So what I want to do here is basically straighten this out a little bit so we have the stylings of clean and flat. As we do this, right? The sides aren't as important, but then we can sort of select these. Control V, and you see how that, you see this? Control V to smooth this. You see now we've gotten the straight edges down to the pixel that we wanted. We can still adjust this a little bit so it's, there we are. So you sort of do a line there, a line there, a line there, and suddenly you have the cute, actually, I don't know what you call it, the space between the paws. Yeah, no, I know Mulligaro. There's, you should hear some of the stupid things Norwegians say about places like Spain and things like that. Sorry, it's but just sort of semi-related, but just the places and names and generalizations. Vandal Hearts. Never played Final Fantasy Tactics, but I have played Vandal Hearts, which I think is fairly obscure. So we've straightened out the fetus, we've done the face, we might jump back and forth a bit when we get this shortly into Substance Painter, but we'll finally do the hands. Because those are, yeah, they're all funny right now. Right. And we'll snap everything to pixels and everything. So that's why when I do this, we don't have to be super precise. I think this is one of the few shared tracks from between me and Molgaro's playlist. This is that polygon, so that's why. Aha. Should be fine. I think we might want to then do that trick here. I don't know, let's aha. That goes something like that, right? Yes. One tool, and there's several tools for this. Let me see if I can find it. Which is, you can Google this. I think there's 3 alternatives. One is UV squares, one is text tools. One thing that I find just saves a little bit of time. Rectify. That's exactly this. Just makes everything square. I just realized I have to do a little thing here. The music just... Oh, this goes on empty for a while. Let's see. Let me... Something to drink here. Okay, well then. We were sharing the same brain cell when it comes to Spyro. Let's see. So the reason why the hands are getting an importance is just because I want to emulate a very specific look of the old PlayStation hands. Think of Metal Gear Solid, think of Resident Evil. Anytime you've seen real-time hand on the character on those consoles, it's usually been very flat. And we're doing a little bit of eyeballing here, but that's fine. We can maybe merge these backgrounds. Is there a possibility for which was like a one of the more obscure Warhammer games, I'd say. And old. Let's see, we'll soon get this into Substance Painter and start painting in the details, which is, the fun part. Something like this. So it's all MIDI instrumentations and everything. Maybe some samples, but I still like it. Do we want to straighten up the chest? I think we maybe do a little bit. Just because Malgaro's character, I believe, does have a little bit of a tuft, yes. We'll do that in texture detail. Now there are definitely different ways about going about this unwrapping. I think this is like the more old school way of doing it. You see, theirs gets a little bit stretchy because it goes a little bit inwards like this. There's definitely tools out there. I would say for fucking Unity, it's very easy to say, of course, go look at plugins, etc. But I do think with, as far as Blender and Unity is concerned, there are so many good plugins out there, and many of them are free. So always be on the lookout. Oh, I got several games I think are good, no, are bad, but I consider good. Phrase that really wrong. I'll list a few. I'll start easy. And get more and more controversial. Star Fox Adventures, I like it. It's a solid, rare game. It's Star Fox with Zelda. I really liked it. As did many others. I also liked to dial it up one level, Enter the Matrix, unironically. Played it back in the day, had a good time, unlocked everything, had a blast. And let's see, anything else? Yes, a darling of mine, and something I might even stream on stream, is Jurassic Park Trespasser. I am enamored with that game. It's what I call like the most, you could call it the most extremely fitting game in terms of what it set out to do and, you know, what it's based on and how it went. But like what they did with that game, like, okay, here's just some innovations alone that they managed to do. For one, obviously the physics engine, but there's also a lot of things that people talk about less, which is it's the first video game to use normal maps, which is a huge deal. Normal maps is textures in the game that react to lighting, and that's how, when we got over to like the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era, you could have a person have detail on them that reacted to light in certain ways. So like little indentations, for instance. You did like the easiest example to tell people would be something like, look at Quake 3 engine games, and then start looking at, say, Doom 3, when they did that. And how, like, all the greebling, all the reactive lighting and everything, how much of a difference that made. But it sort of represents a kind of ambition that I really, really admire. And a few years ago, with Trespasser, they released early builds and prototypes. And I was kind of very enamored with it because it got very abstract. Because it would have these huge open worlds. These huge open worlds with nothing in them, just a series of concrete, like, pillars. This is like way to action feel for what I'm talking about. Okay. Like these weird pillars everywhere. And you'd walk around and it would take like a good 15 minutes just to walk anywhere. And then there's nothing at the end. And then you realize, of course, oh, it's just a test for map scale. But other times you would find stuff that wasn't in the final release of the game. And I think what had a real profound effect on me was that was a jungle map in the game, which was much more luscious and jungle-like than what appeared in the final game, probably because of hardware reasons. But you, like, randomly in there, you'd find these little points of interest, and in one of them, there's like a little container. And there's like, this container has been there since they like did the build in 1996 or 1997 or something. It's like, you go up this container and then you open it and it had like a unique weapon in it, not seen in the final game. And it got so strange because it's like this little piece of digital data that nobody has seen or thought about ever since then. Then you find it, and you know, it's interesting for those people who care. It's not a very famous game, so unlike the Resident Evil 1.5 early builds that you know, has been talked about recently in various chats and everything, I still find it interesting. It was like being a digital archaeologist. Somebody made that and they put it there, and it was forgotten about and lost until somebody found it and uploaded it. I agree with, I think I would have preferred Dinosaur Planet over Star Fox Adventures. This seems like the better, more original story. Okay, I think we're gonna get this into Substance Beta now. See? And hopefully this works when I open this. Let's see, and there we go. Wonderful, wonderful. I can actually show what I meant by normal map inside of here. Let's see. Oop. Well, thank you very much for following. This is Siura. Thank you very much. Oop. Now, see what I did there is I have several things hidden in my scene. So what I need to do is I'm just gonna go quickly into Blender, export, and I'm gonna hit the little button which just says that it's only gonna export selected objects. Let me try that again. There we are. So I'm just gonna do the trick that I showed previously, which is to just bake this. I'm gonna use the low poly mesh. I'm just gonna do this to show what I mean. Because this is interesting, and basically like the huge innovation that came from, you know, think PlayStation 1 to all that era, and it sort of ended with heavily photo referenced stuff. But when we get into this era is when we get into the normal mapping, which is, let me just do one thing first, just to make sure that this has the ambient occlusion, which we will have to fix. We're going to be doing a trick with this. But yeah, when I make a brush here, for instance, I can do things like color it, which is, you know, just adding detail onto the texture itself. But you see, it stays this level of glossy no matter, for instance, what I do, and it does not have any indentation. Normal mapping, it's using Hightail. This is confusing to some people, but this is, you can bake this into the normal map. Is see this? This? Yes, here we are. This is you've probably seen this sometime before. This is like a normal map. It tells how something is, how the model is going to react to lighting, which is different from the normal coloring that we just did. To see how the sort of light is reacting to the indentation. Even though, and of course the magic trick about it is of course that it hasn't had any additional geometry. This is still the same amount of polygons. So that's when you got to like the 360 era. It's kind of funny. But go back to those games now, like something like the first Gears of War, and just notice how crazy they go with the detailing on everything, all the greebling to get this detail. Oblivion as well, it goes like crazy with that. Watch the making of Oblivion documentary. I forget if it's Todd Howard, but it's very funny that I think the art director on that game had to like tell the art team to, you know, stop adding all this unnecessary detail. Just because it can doesn't mean that it should. Resident Evil Survivor, which one? Is that one of the... Because it's not the Outcast Resident Evils. Is it the... Is it the one of the light gun games? Survivor? Or is Survivor the terrible PS1 game? So you see here what these materials usually are setup materials that uses basically those little scratches and everything. This is the sort of the detail that I'm talking about. Let me actually show you what happens if I go into the height here. You see here, it's very subtle, of course, but it helps sell the illusion if I just dial down the effect of the normal map. But enough about that. Let's start. Yeah, Molgaro with the Mel cap, right? There's so many strange ones in here that I never use. You can see that it's taking a little while to... Well, it actually doesn't want to tie that to Molgaro. Oh, okay. That's strange. We won't be using any of these, of course. I want to say this one is one that I've stopped using so much because it's very easy to abuse this in a game like Combustion, right? You had this and some danger lines. Also, I realize I've made the faux pas in my Final Fantasy VII playthrough in that I've been calling these lines, these ones specifically, I've been calling those chevrons, which they are not, apparently. They're just lines. Chevrons is if they meet sort of in the middle. I wonder if I can actually do that. Ah, never mind. Yeah, this would be it. Let's get to texturing. I'm thinking being a little bit creative here. Well, it's gonna be a straightforward white cat person with blue eyes and a little bit of cheek fluff. Did the music die again? No, it didn't. But I'm gonna do a little hint of blue on things. Thanks, Molgaro. I hope to make something that you'll like. Now I'm breaking out the tablet and the pen. Let's see. But before we do that, let's see if I can go back to Blender and it works. Yes. Okay, so what we're just quickly gonna do, so we probably just gonna see how this looks, because we want to live. You saw how jagged he was. So what we're gonna do is just make a smooth version of the model, so we have something to bake where it's smoother. See how that looks. Because in the first bake that we did, it was so jagged it sort of started shading what was supposed to be smooth geometry. So you can see here, see how it sort of, the jaggedness is it's recognizing that, and we don't want that. Let's pick this. Opens up a little menu. Just have to select the high-end version that we just made. Might have to, yeah, we have to enable one other thing. No, actually we don't, I think. Yeah. This is like the base color. So this is the base color one. That means it's actually without lighting. So without ambient occlusion, there's nothing there. But with ambient occlusion, you see there's a little bit of gray and everything. And then we also, from last time, get in the Pixelator add-on. Highly recommended. Every low poly artist I know uses it. And what that does is, as it say, it pixelates stuff. Also wanted to set to this style to softer because this is an organic character. I usually do nearest neighbor on here when working on machinery dithering as well. There's several ones. Can do a little bit of pattern there. And yes, you can also enable Amogus. So now you see there's little Amoguses appearing. Action Dog, the developer, has a sense of humor. Let me try something here. That's what we might want to do. Is can be there's like color balance, color correct, color match. Yes. What I'm thinking is we can, for instance, make him a little blue because that's a color I associate him with. Those. You see, that gives a little bit of softness, a little bit of, you know, this would be sky reflection or something. Where's this track from? I think I know. I think this is actually... Yes, it's Minecraft. And yeah, this track. I'm thinking about the movie, and you know, I wonder how they're gonna do this because Minecraft means so much to so many people, right? But different things. You know, this track is very sentimental. I wonder if they'll have anything akin to that in the movie. So another thing we can do. We try one thing when it comes to screen here. Yeah, that's fine. Just I need to change screens when I draw. So just wanted to make sure that that works. Just Wordux comment about Radiant AI and Oblivion. I respect it for what it tried to do, and if anything, I feel it's a good example of how Bethesda has a bad tendency of, oh, that didn't work, so then or it was suboptimal, and so they throw it out. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Try and fix it instead. Then they unsimplify it instead. Because how deep and resonant isn't this, right? Like, it feels very meaningful, this. And that has what Minecraft has been to many people. It's been like an ode to creativity, or whatever you want to call it. You know, in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, unironically. Probably why many people are low poly artists, or low poly is, you know, recognizable to somebody. Like, Minecraft's a gateway drug. I know what I'm doing wrong here. Forgot to add a baked light material. We're gonna be soft with this. Not go as heavy as we've done before. Oh, that's because the model is so freaking bright. Okay, let's do a little temporary darkness to him. I can see that the pattern here is a little too strong. Do we want a pattern? I'm not sure we want a pattern. White noise. Just to get the lid, but we'll be doing brush strokes with the fur. Oh. Ultimate off there. I added to the pixelator, not to the... There we are. Okay, now the world's making more sense. Now it looks very latexed up. We'll fix that. I don't want this almost next to nothing, right? That's because of this, that the... Yeah. Okay, so we set that to overlay instead. We might actually do a lot of this by hand. Lovely, lovely. I wonder if we put this behind this. Does it bluify? No, it doesn't. We can work around that. Oh, Dave. With the fur. See, and I'll block out some basic details here. So we make sure that it works. This is a symmetrical model. Which was like a easy way for wireframe. What's that again? It's kind of strange that I'm Googling that now and... What the... I have the oddest weird issues on stream because like I'm trying to look that up now and people are saying like, is your hardware up to date? Or wireframe view? Are you crazy? Literally just... We might just have to forego that. We'll see. So I have display settings there. See. Oh yeah. No idea why it's so hidden, but there we are. Just needed to know where the eyes were, really. I'll make him happy. I'm just being silly. Sometimes I just blend details to where it doesn't even appear in the texture, like somewhere between like the corner of the mouth and going into it. You know, has to look right, of course. No, it doesn't. Might be operating in. So we'll see how this looks at half res. That's a little too much. As we hang on. We have overlap. I'm sorry guys, I have to fix that. Oh, okay. Give me just 1 minute, guys. Have to do one thing. Have to adjust the UV map so we don't have the texture stretch. And while we're at it, we might actually shrink the head just a little bit because it has currently a little too much detail right now. And there we're done in Blender. Then we go back into Substance Painter and just re-import our model. Well, to do another bake, because you see stuff that happened with the mouth there. There we are. That was a little bit of Siva, Dave. There's a few things in my playlist. There's I'll put it like this. There's some tracks in there that appear twice. You can contemplate why they would. There's a little bit more big pixel details right now. Actually, let's not play this because I think it might be DMCA. And we end. Ah, classic. Perfect if you consider what I'm doing any kind of tutorial. So one thing I want to do now is just find the right brush to use for fur detail. This doesn't do anything right, so... Trust the process, yes. So because of... why is it not... kind of like this, but this is a mod. This is some brush pack I got back when. Yeah. Something strange with that brush in particular, because it wasn't applying correctly. We're just trying to get some details in. And we start with dark, and then we get bright. Much of a difference there. Two songs I have to remove for copyright reasons in there. Or copyright fears, I don't know. They're probably fine, but better safe than sorry. It can kind of work, because what we're also going to be doing is adding a little blur. And this might work. I have to redo the brushes, but I'm picking a brush here that, you know, with low poly you want something big and chunky. Okay, let's try this one. Let's try this one. A lot of implied details at low resolution, of course. That was the old one. This might be too... I really like this. Actually, now I feel really sorry for Molgaro, because imagine living in Norun, the city combustion takes place in, and having white fur, an oil rig. I wonder if having white fur in the setting is a little bit like being Bond. But I don't know. Trying to avoid that it's not full bright white. Starting to remind me some of the textures I see in Final Fantasy 9. I've been like for a long while just studying textures they did in those old games. And we do another trick here, which is darken up the naughty spots. can see here, we might... Because this actually helped blend things over. Let's say with the tail there. Ooh, Crystal Chronicles. Love the music, not so much the game. I really wanted to love that game. I really did. Like, it has so much for it, but yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm actually cheating now because I'm not using my tablet. I'm actually being lazy and using my mouse, but that's just because the variable detail, or whatever you want to call it, which we might do with the face, for instance, but the difference in what you want it for is usually the difference in thickness. So you can have like a line that gets increasingly thinner or thicker, but I find it's kind of covered by the alpha that we're using, this sort of brush texture here. You can see this, for instance, it already has variable thickness on the various lines here. Wonder how this looks actually. Oh, it's not too bad. Oop. Thank you, software. It saved for me. I forgot to save myself. Well, thank you, artist. It'll look even better the more I work on it, but yeah, it's getting some implied detail in, and I do think having a little bit of color usually helps. I find this is it's very stylized, what I'm doing right now, but it does help a lot with how something looks, because I can probably make a filter here. No, it was... I hate that it's called, like, yeah, HSL, perceptive. And like every other program I know that gives you hue, saturation, and lightness is just called something like saturation or whatever. But, yeah, this is how it looks grayscale, for instance. You see how much it loses that way? You know, now it's a little too much, but you see my point? You can crank that up. Play karamelldansen here. Lyssna och lär, missa inte chansen. We just listened to a track earlier called Sweden, and you know, there's many jokes between Sweden and Norway, of course. Very funny because I'm from a place in Norway that is right at the border to Sweden, and even have some family in Sweden, etc. So consider me quarter Swedish or less, something like that. Not a shared culture. Yeah, but it's always funny when Vinesauce Joel makes fun of the Norwegians. Music from the best Zelda. And we're gonna be bright. Like, it looks rough right now, but we're gonna be brightening up and darkening important areas. Like under the arms, we're gonna brighten the chest. So we're gonna be adding the details on the hands. Trust the process. Trust the process. Probably want facial details above everything else. Remove the old fur. This isn't in use. Call this. So I used to do kind of this thing where I can just rush through essentially. Ancestry-wise, I actually had like 96 Norwegian and, well, 94 Norwegian, 6% Forest Finn. It's my genealogy. It's actually my brother who took a test on that, but, you know. Same father and mother, and so we should be the same, right? Let's get those lovely eyes going. I'm actually gonna have to open my reference here. 2 references. I should do this one, so. Just now we're going to be doing a little bit of manual painting. I'm gonna work on making him a little less derpy. And what's always very powerful is a single bit of eye shine. Fun fact, but like, with some exception, keep an eye out for that, but all characters in Combustion have like a light emissive material to their eyes. That's how you can always see a character in the dark in Combustion, usually by the shine in their eyes. So that's a method just to not make you lose Calico in Combustion, because Combustion is a very dark game. Literal and non-literal sense. Lots of hopes and dreams in these eyes here. Not completely white, but now I'm just doing what I do a lot, which is selecting color with Q, selecting something, the brush with low opacity, just like I'm doing highlights above the eyes, and I'm, for instance, darkening a little because it goes kind of in. Similarly, I'm doing this. This is something characters in Combustion have a lot, which is like a tired look on their face. A little bit of highlight on, say, the cheeks, and then the front of the face and top here, until you get something that starts making sense. And we'll be doing the coloration thing afterwards as well. To just, I don't know, I think a little bit in values right now. There's, you know, like workflows. There's always talks about like good destructive workflows, etc., which is great. You do want things not to be destructive, etc. But life isn't always that nice, so I'm trying when I can have a workflow where I'm okay with something being destroyed because I can just do more on top. So it's like if this was saved, but it was saved down to just a single texture, I could just go in and break it up, rip it apart, and make it do what I want it to do. You might not want a little cheek detail for an hair. Meow meow. And it's funny, Molgaro doesn't really have a nose in his official artwork. I'm gonna give him a little nose, and probably a little pink cute one at that. Same with his ears, really. Let me just... I think this was a little superfluous. Thank you, Gore. This is interesting because this is gonna be eventually a combustion model, but it's actually gonna have clothes. The whole reason I'm doing this is kind of as a test to myself, but also just because I'm gonna do something funny with it. Oh, Molgaro, forgive me. You can see you know how you saw how we had to split the arm, but it doesn't look too bad. Like if you see here, right, it still blends. Looks perfectly fine from a distance, but yeah. It's actually really not that bad. Thank you, artist. Like, I've seen your art, and how good you are at these things. So that's a huge compliment. You will sure to check out your work. Oh. So I want to bring out the cheeks a little bit. Probably a little too bright. So bring out the cheeks a little bit. Like another tool that I like to use a lot is this blend or smudge tool. Because here you sort of have to have the upper lip and lower lip. Lower lip is more visible on cats. I really wanted to add a lip shine. One thing I struggled with a long time was and add that to the sequel pile of ideas, but I was gonna have like 2 details on animal characters, which was fluff, like transparent texture fluff on areas like the cheek, etc. The other was whiskers, but I decided in the end that would be too much work for the workflow. But one thing I joke about, we'll see what cards reality deals me. But thought that I had was, if Combustion does, get a sequel, I would go for a PlayStation 2 style. And then I would do all those things. I'm gonna be using overlay a little bit here, brighten things and darken things as well. It's very subtle stuff. I'm not even sure if Twitch really catches on all the details here, but if I do, yeah, I should probably notice, right? And under the arms, it's been very bright so far. Click. Details. Then we do it a little bit sunken in there, so you see how the chest is getting brought up a little bit. That's starting to remind me of the second Black Waltz fight. Oh, or is it the first? I think it's the first. Oh, no, I'm not sure. The one that has the creature with it. We can do a little bit of darkness here, right? We're gonna check how Mr. Molgaro will look with a little bit of shade. But that might be a little too much. Already, like, starting to look like something, and you know, I'd feed this kitty spaghetti and take care of it. Don't to chat, don't actually feed your cat spaghetti. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Gortys. Yeah. No, you know, one day you'll get it. You also get quicker and better at doing these things. I'm taking my sweet time a little here because I figure it's more fun to show it that way, and also I want to give this model special attention because it's for a friend. Let's add the toes and feet. Oh, toes and fingers. Music's very... Wonder if... okay, let's go to another. Still keeping it Resi 2, but... There we are. Oh, that's very cool that there's a Nyx one. I posted something on the Reddit for Morrowind once. I think there's like... I made 2 posts on Reddit and that was one of them. It might have made something else, but it was the Kaguti and the Ajit, and the other one is basically like I had a hypothesis. Yeah, and the Kaguti War and Ajit, if they had like a common ancestor, because they're very strange creatures with... this is gonna be fine. If they have a common ancestor, because this is all of them are like walking mouths, basically. The Humble Scrib. I'm such a Morrowind fan. Like, there's something about that game. I would say it's like... And I like that game. Like the original Fallout, Arcanum, there's something about games like that which just put you in a world, not like stuff like, say, Skyrim or whatever, but it gets a little tiring to be the chosen one. I'll have to give this one thing a little bit extra space, I realize. As well. So what we want is this, so we need to give it one more pixel, and we're golden. You and your abbreviations. What's OSRS, Dave? Oh yeah, old school RuneScape. Sorry about that. Just always put off by abbreviations. I don't hear that often. I'm just going back into Blender, which, yeah, no, very nice. You can see it. To give it one more pixel, because that's on that end. Then we just well, actually, we don't have to worry about that because we've actually broken a little bit of a rule here, but it's fine because it's an organic model, which is the settling thing I was shown previously. But it's fine because on an organic model like this, we don't really have those seams. So ideally now, just make a save, just in case. Has to recalculate things, I think. See that little loading bar. Yeah. Yeah, no, you see it blur the detail, but that's fine. And there you see we have the appropriate pixel density. See, it's like pixel, line between, pixel, line between, pixel, line between. Exactly how I want it. Okay. Here's an exclusive. There's some combustion music in here. You're gonna get one now. Which is very funny, There's like a bar in the game, and Felix Sorts, musician on Combustion. This like really crazily talented, skilled, and everything. And we needed like a kind of like a folk song, the right term. We needed something for the bar, and yeah, this is actually a friend of ours. There's not a musician, but he's playing like the mouth harp, and there's some other stuff going on as well. So I'm gonna shut up and just let you guys listen to this first time exclusive. So what do you guys think? Oh, we're just letting people listen to some combustion music, Feral. And yeah, no, it's a crazy track, but it does have this vibe which is gonna fit the environment very, very much. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let me just looking up a cat reference quickly. And people are like saturating their pictures or something because those noses I'm seeing of cats with pink noses are really pink. I guess they can be. Bit careful so it doesn't get like a pig nose. Do a little bit thing here and happens if I something like that. Too much, but little things that you know, a little bit of pink hue can bring out quite the amount of life. We'll also be doing some things for the fur on the ear here. I kind of like how that blends a little bit strong, but you know, you'll see it at like this distance or something. So I look like a cute cat person. Let's see. That's like a mild implication of a smile, but let's see. That's a little too much, I think. We do extend this part a little bit. It is conventionally a little bit more how combustion characters look. A little bit miserable. Like, I have like Discworld music in here, but this is like the... It's going through the music here. Oh, okay. Does that look alright, Feral? I said that he looked like he was saying something, so I took that to mean that it looked like he had his mouth open. Even though this is like default mouth shut, so I'm just asking if it looks better now. If I understood you correctly. I'm not calling you out on stream, so don't be worried. So what we're gonna do here is be a little cheeky. You can see I'm sort of falling into habits of just making layers and adding stuff, which is an okay way of doing things. Just really fun. Several characters have like white where their claws are, but Mr. Mulgaro here is already so bright that it's basically impossible to see. This Lost Patrol theme is very melancholic, as is the game. Actually, we might want to... This is like for... Alright, so I'm just gonna have to darken up this area here first. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the fill tool, hitting 4 here. You can sort of select the color, and you can sort of just select polygons. So you have to do that on separate layer, multiply instead, blur it up. And turn that down a little bit, but it's just because you want that part to be a little darker. Now we can add the beans. We already added the beans here, we'll be adding some beans below. And we'll be using some drop shadow for additional detail. This isn't usually areas where I spend a lot of detail. Because it's more like you're not going to see below this point. Oh, I see it. On the wrong one. I'm gonna risk this one. Sometimes you get a little bleed like that. Let's see if we can add a little drop shadow here. Works just like in Photoshop, except 3-dimensionally. See, it works with distance, size as well. But probably I just want it like a darkish. Yeah. Let's see if I can. So because it's not so solid. Yes, that's the fact. Just painting in more detail. Oh, all right, Farrell. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No damage done, right? Oh, it's... that's fine. So yeah, now we see he has a little bit... He has some small beans. Details. Almost forgot the thumb. So now we want to, refine the eyes a little bit. Face, ears. Yeah, we'll get somewhere with this. Brighten up the tail, brighten up. Yeah. You can see I'm operating a lot now above the baked lighting environment, just because the baked lighting environment has done its part and it does do things below, but I'm taking over now. I'm in charge. All it does is like help pre-simulate, because again, this is full bright. This is how it actually looks with lighting. You can see it basically has no detail on the normal maps or anything else. Actually, it does a little bit in normal map, but that's not going to be used, so... There's a lot of things going on with eyes in combustion. And yeah, as I said, all characters have the emissive material, so their eyes glow in the dark, but I'll put it like this: there's exceptions and then there's exaggerations to that rule. I'm excited to be showing more on the game in general. Of course I am. In a long time coming. And, I think by the end of it all, I'll have some pretty interesting development stories as well. And wisdoms as well. I want to share on to other people. Cats have like a... Not all cats, but they have like a... Yeah. I think it's something to do with their kind of night vision in terms of how going out from the face here outwards. They have like a darkening there. A little bit exaggerated now, but... A soundtrack from 1993, is it? Moomin anime. Maybe a lot of people who would go on to Studio Ghibli. Great stuff. Have a shared culture thing as well with, very popular here in in Scandinavia. And of course also Japan, but I don't think it was that big in America. That's what I was gonna say. Well, thank you, artist. I don't feel like I do magic at all. People are very nice to say that. Like my sort of one ambition was just to get a little out there and hopefully the Blender police doesn't come in and yell at me. Which they haven't so far, which is good. Which is good. But Because if we do something like this, we pronounce the chin a little bit. Keep this. We can get a real implication of. Yeah. Implication of protrusion, sorry. I'm getting a little lost in my own thoughts. We do this to have the little famous, when you draw a cat's mouth, you draw a little twirl, or right, like a little mustache twirl. That's because it does go a little off out a little. Then they have a little bit of a cheekbone as well. Whoop. Well, to enhance the blue a little, but it's coming along. Oh, take good care. Take very good care. And thank you so much for stopping by, Gortist. It's very nice of you to do so. But yeah, prioritize your own health above all else. Prioritize a lot of things before prioritizing a stream, of course. We'll get back to the face. I just want to get some of that lighting detail back. See, let's find a good brush in here. This might be good. See if it is good. Right, we'll give it a try. It's what we want. Not got too crazy, but like this will be a good example here. Where we darken this area with the intent of brightening this area. Then going back to darkening a little bit in this area. And you might be going, oh no, what's he doing? What's he doing? This ring. This is my little Bob Ross moment. Just the process, because we'll be downplaying this. I'm not too happy with the fur there, but we're gonna be blurring this. You can see now. See how that's like baked in an indentation. Like it's strong now, but I'm just keeping it like this to highlight. Like now it's very dark beneath there, or does give a little bit more detail going in, and then of course it brings out the butt a little bit. We'll do a similar thing here. The little elbow indentation. Like in textures is really where all the magic happens with low poly. I tell a lie, but that's where we get all the details. That's where the devil is. You'll notice that there is actually a lot of folk is a little bit catch-all, but there's Scandinavian things, there's things that like just a lot of old European styles of music inside the playlist. It's usually from games that just take inspiration from it, mostly because the internet is a copyright nightmare. Yeah, I have like playlists and playlists of my own, like old music, medieval music from different places. Sometimes the bug just catches you, you know? And sometimes you'll listen to something and get really inspired by it. It's like... So, especially like all the medieval tracks, which are actual medieval music. But you listen to it, it's like, oh, this sounds like it would be an absolute banger in a video game boss fight or something. But then, of course, you also hear about how a lot of video game music is directly inspired by stuff from, say, movies, which, you know, are also inspired by stuff from history, like medieval, Renaissance, things like that. Nature of inspiration is basically what I'm describing there. You see there, we're bringing the fluff out a little. If you're close here, can you maybe... Yeah, there you go. So he has a little bit of fluff that I'm replicating. There we go. And this is going to be overlay, so don't worry about it. It's just sometimes I like to work in normal like this, because it helps me see a lot more. So, for instance, I want it darker the further in it goes. And that's a lot easier to see than working in this overlay by default. It didn't like the very heavy dark there, so I'm gonna minimize or mitigate the effects a little bit. Take out the blur tool. Little bit, but we need... Okay. Yeah, just because it's easier this way. I'll just pick a brush so I have a little bit of detail to what I'm illustrating here. And like a Eevee chest thing going on. That's fine. This is full bright. Oh, there's track again. I like it. Let's keep it. A little bit of darkness. Want that. We're going into call it like the home stretch of things here. We're just gonna use this layer also for... No, I'm gonna be smart. Just in case. Make a separate layer for it. Sometimes it's smart to combine, sometimes it's not. So it's all about being nice to your future self. Do we want to brighten up this a little bit more than we want it dark? And then we can do we tried a little indentation, I remember, for like the collarbone. It's very subtle. Well, we tried that in the model, but it didn't work, so it do it a little bit by texture here. Actually, we might be... I need a sip of some sparkling water here. Let's see, check the comments. Ah yes, Heroes of Might and Magic 4. Underrated game in the series, especially the music. I love the music. I just realized I also have to talk about something or justify something, which is texture packing. Said I was going to use the tool for that, but I didn't. The basic reason for that is just stylistically, I keep it at the, and I wanted to go as 128 by 128 rather than 64 by 64 on the character. But the thing is, once you've gotten to that point, nothing's stopping you from just, if you want to be in the place between 64 by 64 and 128 by 28, because that's double the size, you just keep things smaller and keep it at the sort of pixel density that you wanted. And is it wasted space? Yeah. You could do something like I could potentially have the hat in here, but I'm gonna keep that separate. And it just basically comes down to we live at an age now where the technology can handle it, basically. Because this texture in general is, this is probably 1/4 of the texture size of a boot of a character in the modern game, and it doesn't have any additional fancy material, so it's fine. It's fine, and it does save on a lot of headache. Not that I don't respect people who do it 100% authentic. The people who actually manage to make hacks that run on actual hardware. But it's about setting goals, and with combustion, I've had to set some goals that are economical first, and one of them is to be able to quickly iterate and do stuff like I'm doing now. So the trade-off is that I haven't been spending an additional hour hacking this in the most efficient way in, say, 64 by 64 and getting maybe a similar-ish result that I want. I do regret the thumb a little bit here, but it's also like you're never gonna see that when it's like at this resolution, so it's fine. It's fine. And that isn't to say that you shouldn't care or something. Certainly, not that I don't. Not saying that I don't care. It's just priorities, and what I've realized is, getting things done is the most important thing, especially right now where I'm in my life, where I really want to see combustion to the finish. Not to do it right, but to get it right. I also have to make sure that I'm not driven insane by my own project. Simple as that. Simple as that. Let's make the tail a little brighter. Oh, Dave. Oh, Archie, I envy you. Do the ears then. Get ourselves a regular shape. What I'm gonna do is work on this a little while longer, finish it up. Then I'm gonna do the silly thing that I want to do sometime this week, I hope. And then, yeah, do a separate version where I do him clothed or combustion. I'm gonna be using a masking tool here because I think much like Blender at times it does like to bleed through. Like I can, yeah, you see that bleeding there? We don't want that. So we can work around that in a very easy, sneaky, tricky way. Let me do a smooth stroke here. This is smooth stroke tool, similar to that seen in Photoshop. You might see that it looks like it's missing the pixels in between. That's fine, because if we turn off the pixelator, you'll see that the detail is actually there. So when we do stuff, like blur it, it should, yeah, see how the detail sort of comes back. Connecting the gaps, and then we can move stuff around. Turn off the smoothing. Just testing something here. Let me do the fluff out separate. I know there's a huge bunch of layers right now, but I'll clean that up. This is from Trespasser, one of the beautiful moments in the game where I get into a town. Probably the best location in the game. We get into a town and see, like, I wouldn't call it liminal, but very tragic. Yeah, let's do the masking now, because we're gonna have to fix this anyways, but yeah, it's basically just to show it. You can have the black mask or white mask. White mask, everything is still there. Black mask removes everything. So you have to paint in what surfaces still use this. So if I add in these polygons, you can see the detail is back, but it's not doing that on the backside. You can see there's bleed from previous nonsense that I've done. Then I paint this in. And this is okay to bleed a little bit, because we're essentially imitating subsurface scattering here a little bit. Didn't like that too much. And a little too. There. We turn this down. Yeah. If we... And then we add some more, like fur. Maybe we use a brush for that, or we just do it by hand. Do it by hand, right? This is just emulating the sort of fuzz that is inside the cat's ear. See how that looks at now. Maybe we do like 1 or 2 highlights in here. Real soul stuff, you know. Oh. Sorry. We can even blur this. Wonder if we... Color burn is like very easy to get extreme, but I do wonder. Yeah, you see that? Just the right amount of it can bring something out. This might be too much. I'm just playing with it. Does it look alright at a low enough intensity? Now, looks better as it was. Yeah, getting there. Almost there, I'd say. Little more hints of blue, bit more hints of blue. Yeah, I'll also probably do the props and such offline as well. Oh, welcome back, Molgaro. Yeah, now we're... What do you think? There's a few things I might want to do just to elevate it a little bit extra, but yeah. What do you think, boss man? Mr. Molgaro? Of course, with the props, that's when it will be really recognizable as your good self. My time a little today, but yeah, this is an example of why you are like a demon, Molgaro, like just how fast you are with the models and everything that you make. There are people who don't know, I think pretty much everybody does, but check out Molgaro. That's of course the character this is meant to represent. Yeah, I think we got something. I think we got something. Let's call it there for today. I think you get the picture. Like at this point, it's just infinite amount of tweaking and fixing and making sure. Spit and shine, really. Let's see. Right. Right. Well, thank you, Molgaro. That's a little bit of a technique I tried for a long while to replicate in for how they did it in Final Fantasy 9 and Chrono Cross. So I think it's basically me trying to copy a square method. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. I don't know what much else to say. I might stream an additional time this week here, Final Fantasy 7. Continue on that. And yeah, we'll be doing more art. It's very chill. Very nice of people to show up here. I think, yeah, no, take care, everyone. And yeah, I know I said it, but yeah, after this one, now we have enough, I feel, to upload on YouTube. So probably gonna be too lazy to do that today because I actually have some other combustion stuff that I want to work on. But then, yeah. Take care, guys. And gals. See ya.